All right, welcome back to the series. Going to jump right in with a lot of sumo content to start this one off. Here in these matches, I'm going against Gabe, who is a former wrestler at Grand Valley State University and last year's bronze medalist for USA Nationals in sumo. He's currently a middleweight, which in sumo is the 220-pound weight class. Here I am struggling. He has a inside grip with his left hand, and I'm just struggling to do anything about it. He closes off the gap so well there that I can't swim in. Hanging onto this overhook is not doing much. So I try a few things before just clamping as tight as I can, and you can see Kai shake his head in disapproval at my efforts. Anyhow, after that match, I was pushing and pushing, and I knew desperation move was the only hope. Here he came right off the tachi and smacked me and pushed me straight out, which not usually his style, so it was unexpected. Here I was able to get double underhooks and tried to work him out, and then again went to a desperation throw. Here he went real hard and aggressive, and I got caught on the edge, was unable to do anything about it. These are some matches with Evan. Evan started with Grand Rapids Sumo Club the same time I did. We ride down together. We've been friends for many years and former coworkers, so it's fun to always be able to do this and have someone with me to travel down about an hour drive each week. There were a lot of matches this practice, and really wore me out, but Evan and I had some good ones, so we're going to hopefully enjoy them. I tried to slow down his quick pace, and he did a really good job this whole practice of using, as you can see there, using the length of his torso to weaken my grip. As you can see, I'm barely hanging onto the front of his mawashi, so I'm really unable to do much of anything. So I resorted to really, honestly, changing pace, I guess is the best way to put it. So I would get into a position where we were near the edge and quickly change direction or try to use his momentum against him. Again, here I'm just trying to get inside, but again, he's using his length against me. So I go to like sort of a Russian tie with bad head position. Eventually able to get one arm in and then the other. Tried to lift him, but that didn't work. So again, he's extending me out, which puts me in a position that I didn't feel like I was in trouble, but I also didn't feel like I could do much. So basically I stall out the match waiting for an opportunity to make a move. And then he tried to throw there, but I just had some footwork to get around it and stay in. And then the most anticlimactic ending to a match, he barely stepped out. Here he came in hard at me, and I just misdirected him a couple times and managed to push him out at the end. Now each week I like to spotlight someone in my videos who's helped me along the way, and this week I chose Kai. Kai's in the white spandex. He is 14 years old and the future 75th Yokozuna. Anyhow, you can see here, Kai's also known as the human embodiment of the fighting spirit. You can see here he goes after, and even when you get him in very compromising positions, it is difficult to finish the match. He is very aware of his body and has a very strong grip and really knows how to latch on with both his arms and his legs. Anyhow, Kai knows more about sumo wrestling than I know or will know about anything in my entire life. And if you ever saw him, this is ending up his first year of sumo. This is beginning of his second year. And if you saw him before he started, he has put on a significant amount of muscle. And he doesn't ever let things like that deter him from going after us. There was a tournament in Grand Rapids, actually, where he went up against a heavyweight, and right off the tachiai, which is the start of the match, he slapped that dude right in the face before going low and going after him, which, I don't know, it just showed a lot of it. I mean, that's probably why he won the Fighting Spirit Award, but just impressive resilience and aggressiveness, and always believing there's a way to win because of his knowledge of sumo. He knows that being undersized doesn't automatically eliminate you from any possibility of winning. He just knows that he has to be more tactical about it, and he is always looking for a way. As you see there, even getting lifted up, he's not out of the match. He hooks a leg, gets himself back on the mat, and continues to fight. Elevates Gabe's head there, looking for his opportunity to get back in close and inside. But Kai does such a great job, and he is also very supportive of the rest of his team. Choosing this path for myself for getting in shape, I could have done anything. I could have started running. I could have started lifting. I could have done any number of things, but having a place where I feel like a part of a team, first of all, and I have great teammates like Kai and the rest of these guys, it really makes the whole journey a lot easier. Here you see Gabe joking around with him a little bit. Gabe's tough to move anyway, even if you are his size, and even tougher if he has 100 pounds on you. So thank you to Kai, and all of his videos of our practices, he does a much better job editing than me. He edits them into shorts along with the proper technique that is used to finish the match. So you should check that out. Also, I'm going to put in the description of this video the highlights for Kai's first whole year of sumo. Some tournament highlights, some practice highlights, a lot of wins, and unfortunately I'm on the wrong end of many of those highlights. Here we got into stand-up round. This is just I just did a boxing round here. This is Marcus. He is in incredible shape. As you can see, he's very fast. I started off real slow because I hadn't sparred with Marcus in a long time, just to get a gauge of how intense he wanted to practice. And I don't know of any fights or competitions that he has coming up, so I just wanted to gauge where he was at, because, you know, when I go in here, just much like at the sumo practice, I just want to be a good teammate, and whatever my opponents, because my goal is to just be in shape, so I can do that any way I want. And so whatever my sparring partner's goals that they're trying to achieve, I try to operate at that level to help them improve. Well, you can see he's got a lot of movement. He's a lot faster than me. And a theme you'll see throughout this footage is me moving forward a lot. I keep the high guard just to protect my head. I feel as though at the sparring pace, I can absorb a lot of the shots to the stomach. So because I'm moving forward a lot, I just keep the high, closed, tight guard up to protect my head, and kind of conceding that I'm going to get hit in the stomach and love handles and whatever else. So, and I'm okay with that. But you see his quickness there, him moving, me throwing some stuff, and, you know, really getting overextended more than I should be, just because I'm not using my head movement much to get in. I'm just walking in a straight line, which is ill-advised when someone's trying to punch you. So, you know, obviously in watching this footage and just knowing myself, I know I have a lot of improvement that could be made. A little parry there, tried to follow up with a straight, but he backed up out of it. This is actually the very first round of sparring of the day, and you can see my shirt's already soaked because we did a lot of drilling and worked a lot beforehand. Here, I think this is where I get completely out of position, but I was able to protect because I knew what side he was on, and he was likely throwing a hook to my head, and I was able to block it. Threw some to the body, kind of like Jiu Jitsu. I absolutely do not want to hurt anyone, so I throw a lot to the body and not a lot to the head. I don't like punching or hitting people in the head. Here, this is Oliver. He is currently undefeated as an amateur MMA fighter, and he has many, many years of stand-up experience. So I always have really fun rounds with him. We were going pretty light today. He was coming off a couple weeks ago a minor facial injury of some sort. So we're going pretty light here, which is always fun because we're still able to flow and just work on techniques. And you'll see a lot of times here, mostly me, I'll do some goofy things with my kicks and laugh about them. But it's always fun going with Oliver. He's super respectful and super conscious about controlling his strikes, because his last opponent he knocked out with a head kick, and I know he has that ability, but he's good at using his techniques under control, so that's always something important to look for in a sparring partner. But yep, here we are just flowing. He's trading some shots. I'm throwing some. He's throwing some. He lands a kick there, a front kick, which those teeps are, for me, the hardest thing for me to defend. I just have a hard time seeing them coming. I mean, we were giggling about something I did that was foolish, probably. But again, with his height and ability, you'll see him backing up to keep the distance that he wants, which is different than the distance I want to be at. So I'll be moving forward quite a bit, and again, keeping the high guard. And one of the things that I have to do with Oliver, as compared to many other people, and you'll see a lot, he does a good job of trapping hands and trying to move my guard out of the way. So I have to really hold that up there a little stronger as I land. Maybe I landed something there, but I threw a lot. Punched him in the leg because I was joking about me kicking. He was joking about me kicking his leg so much, so I punched him in the leg as well. And again here, I just like to cover my head and try to get close enough to hit someone. I've noticed a lot of times, that was a little trick I learned from watching Stamp Fairtex. Her recent fight, she would march forward and, fake the hip as if she was throwing a low kick and then come back up with the other one. Anyhow, I really enjoy working with Oliver because we can go pretty hard and work hard and just know that both of us are going to come out of the round safely. So that's absolutely ideal. Here I went for a little clinch, and then I managed to throw a little kick as we broke it, as you see Colin doing some capoeira in the background. I checked one of his kicks and then bragged about his shin pad becoming misaligned. You got to take the small victories, I suppose. As we get going again, he lands a kick of his own, which would really hurt there. It was right up under my elbow, which is where he wants it. I missed on the low kick, but came back with like a side kick there, landed to his stomach. He's throwing a lot of jabs, trying to keep his distance as I just cover up and accept the jab as I move forward, getting hit, trying to get close enough to land something of my own. I don't really find it a huge disadvantage giving up reach to a lot of guys. I just know that, to get where I want to be, I'm going to get hit in the body quite a bit. And here at the end of the round, I clinched him up again and tried to throw a kick out of it. I believe that's usually what I do. In there, usually, there's the head kick that I know would knock me out in a fight, which I have seen him knock someone out with. So I acknowledge that was a great shot, and we continue the round. But in these clinches, a lot of times, knees would be a good option. But just because I don't have my knee pads on, and also I'm not confident in throwing them safely, I just avoid throwing them. Then we ended the round with a little flurry, and as always, a lot of fun sparring with Oliver. Here I am. This is sped up double speed because I'll spend, as you see, the whole round just following this kid around the room. He's fairly new to striking, so I moved real slow, which is hard to tell with the sped up video, but I moved real slow and gave him a lot of opportunities to hit me and throw his punches and combinations and kicks and whatever he wanted to work on. And then, if something, for example, he wasn't defending well, like a low kick, you'll see later in the round, wasn't really defending a low kick. I'll just kind of throw the same technique until he manages to check it, just so he can, have he got hit with it, but I give him more opportunities to, fix the lack of defense. But as you can see, just moving forward all the time. We talked about blocking kicks there a little bit. Moving forward all the time, there's all the low kicks, and then he kind of did a little check there, so I said, all right, we'll move on to the next thing. But like I said earlier, just being able to operate at the level that I think will benefit my sparring partner is important to me, because as I said again, I really just want to be a good teammate. And there's a big difference when I have someone like this who's a couple months in, as opposed to from time to time some professional fighters will be in there and we'll do some rounds with them. So I just know that since I have the ability to adjust my level and keep myself safe, that I should use that to benefit everyone in the room. Because, even though it's one person out fighting, as you can see with Andy working out in the pads in the back, working on kicks with Marcus, it's a team effort to improve. Over the weekend, I got to watch one of my teammates, Colin, on the right in his fight. Excuse me. It was cool to be there and be able to support someone who I train with. And then I just have a quick clip of, Sunday's training. A lot of people in there working on a lot of things. So if you watch this for some reason, as always, thank you.